evening, Graham Rawlins with our Friday edition of News Geelong. At 11 years of age, Surf Coast Alex Marshall is our latest world champion, this time in the sport of karate and Go-Can-Ryu, the defensive discipline of karate. Me Photo Uganda is a collection of powerful images of the poverty-stricken Ugandan village of Manya, as seen through the eyes of the camera of Geelong advertiser photographer Alison Wind, soon to open for exhibition at the Geelong Gallery. And later in the program, we'll bring you the latest news from the pulsating world of Geelong sport, while sparkling Lani Salathiel will update you with the Geelong and Surf Coast weather expected over the next 6 days. The city of Greater Geelong is the most populous municipality in regional Victoria and has continued to grow strongly in population over the past decade with the progressive residential development of the city. Warren Ponds to the south is a solid example as it continues to develop with affordable housing. Meryl Friend reports.
We're here at the Alexander Miller Estate for the official opening by the Housing Minister Wendy Lovell, and it's a 34-unit complex, one-bedroom units, and it's affordable housing for our elderly Geelong residents.
Well, this is a joint thing between Alexander Miller Estate and also Winteringham Housing. They've joined together because they both have the same philosophy of providing housing for the aged who are in low-income people. And this has been funded through nation building fundings, and it's a fantastic facility that's here in Geelong for older people who are looking for low rental housing.
And so how long's this process taken?
Well, this process has been in place for a year or so now, and we're opening them here today. We've just been through one of the units with one of the residents, a fantastic facility. I think that the residents will be very happy living here.
Very pleased that the launch is happening today. I remember coming here when I was a councillor back at the City of Greater Geelong and seeing this block when it was the old house just behind us there. And it's fantastic how they've transformed this block. The units are fantastic inside, very modern and very accommodating for elderly and people with disabilities. So it's fantastic that we've had this project here, and I'm very pleased to be associated with it.
It's a wonderful site, isn't it? Great, close to all the facilities that are in Warren Ponds.
That's one of the things that is the advantage of this site is the Warren Ponds Shopping Centre across the road. You've got the Leisure Link facility. You've got the library that's going to be built. There's an Aldi that's going to be built right here next to it. It's all accessible via whether a resident needs a wheelchair or a scooter, all really good accessibility, and there's medical services up the road too. So you couldn't ask for a better site, and it's fantastic to see it up out of the ground and running now.
Oh, loving it. It's really great, and it's very warm and comfortable, and as you can see, all the gardens will come up lovely when it's all finished and they've grown, and it's great.
And have you got to know many of the other residents yet?
I knew a couple from Colburn Avenue, and I've met the lady next door, so yeah, so we're getting to know everybody. So we had a resident meeting on Tuesday, so that was sort of, you saw faces that you didn't see before.
We first visited the site. There was the original house on here, and one of the main features of the site was the slopey aspects of the site, and also the site had a lot of existing vegetation, trees around it. There was the house in the centre had a ring of trees around it, a driveway around, and then the site had a perimeter of trees all the way around. So we tried to work with that as much as we could, and the sloping site had to be worked with in terms of getting wheelchair accessibility and low-level paths around the site so everyone can move around easily.
From the Alexander Miller Estate in Warren Ponds, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. The petite figure of 11-year-old Alex Marshall looks more like that of a ballerina, but this young lady has taken on the best in the world to win her first world championship in the discipline of karate and Go-Can-Ryu, as Debbie Meaney reports.
When you first meet Alex Marshall, you can't imagine the brawn behind the beauty. She's a petite girl who has some karate championships under her belt, and I caught up with her in her home in Torquay.
I've got a gold medal in the World Championships, which was a couple of years ago, and it was for fighting. That was in Melbourne, in the hockey centre.
Okay. But you've got other medals and awards as well. What can you tell me about those ones?
Yeah, well, I got a silver at the Nationals up in Queensland, and I've got quite a few gold, silvers and bronze from Victorians and regionals.
Okay, and what's happening in November? Something special in November as well?
Oh yeah, there's a new Nationals in Sydney, and hopefully we'll be going to that too.
Okay, so what kind of style is this type of karate? Because there's lots of different karates, aren't there?
Yeah, it's Gokan-ryu karate.
And you get points scored towards you when you're competing, is that how it works?
Yeah, you get half a point if you get any punches, but if you get a head level kick, then you get a full point.
Okay, and how long have you been doing it for?
I've been doing it for 4.5 years.
Okay.
Which is a long time.
It is. Do you hope to go further with your karate?
I do. Hopefully I'll be grading again at the end of the year for my second black tip on my belt.
Okay, and how many more belts have you got till you where you want to be?
Well, to get to black belt I need my second black tip and then I get my black belt straight after that.
So yeah. Watch out for Alex on the streets of Torquay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not just you that does karate in your family, is it?
Yeah, everyone does karate in my family.
Okay.
My little sister and my little brother, my older sister and my parents.
Okay. So who started the karate trend in this family?
Well, Will, my younger brother and myself, we started it 4.5 years ago.
In Torquay, this is Debbie Meaney for News Geelong.
Aussie Rules International promotes and develops the sport of Australian rules football on an international scale, committed to working with all stakeholders to raise awareness of the AFL and assist international growth of the sport. To this end, Australian rules footy will make its debut as a demonstration sport at this year's Africa Games being held in Mozambique, as Meryl Friend reports.
Ricky Kilday and Lowell Hunter are local Indigenous football players and they're off to South Africa for the All Africa Games in September. It's the first time that there'll be a demonstration of Aussie rules, and as part of their trip they're also doing football clinics with over 300 teenagers at the same time. They don't have any sponsorship yet and they're really looking forward to getting over there and they need your help. Now, Lowell, can you tell us about the All Africa Games? What's the process with all that?
Well, Africa Games are held every 4 years, and I guess they're similar to the Commonwealth Games that we have here in Australia. They've got 50 participating countries within Africa that come together, and I think it's a 2-week sort of a games event, and we'll be demonstrating Aussie rules football on one of the main stages at that event.
And that's the first time?
It is the first time that they've taken an Indigenous side over to Africa to take part in this fantastic opportunity that we have before us. And
what was the process into you being selected for the Games?
Yeah, well, Lowell and I have both been lucky enough to be selected. We've both represented ourselves, our Aboriginal community, our heritage as well, both state level and national level as well. So, we've both been involved in community football games, multicultural round, things like that. So, yeah, we're just really excited about the opportunity to represent our heritage and Australia at the Games.
And also, while you're over there, you're going to be working with some 300 African kids and giving them some clinics?
Yeah, that's correct. We're going to be going out to various communities, I believe remote, disadvantaged communities that haven't had much to do with sport or anything like that. So going over there and promoting Aussie rules is a fantastic opportunity for us. It's a bit about leadership and, giving that opportunity and passing it on something that we love over here and sharing that with someone over there. So, yeah.
And the thing is, you guys have got no funding at the moment. You have to get the funds to get yourselves over to Africa. If people wanted to sponsor you, what would they need to do?
Yeah, we'll provide an email address where people can contact Brian Clark. He's the General Manager for Aussie Rules International. And basically each player needs to raise $5,000 to make it possible to get over there. So we're approaching local businesses and organisations to jump on board, and there's sponsorship options from $250 to $1,000. And obviously there's some great stuff that you'll get for that sponsorship.
All right, well hopefully we'll get some people behind you and we wish you all the best in September.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. This is News Geelong Friday edition as we go to a break and return with more news after this.